You are listening to the Fast Track Your Fashion Brand podcast. On today's episode, we are continuing our Fashion Brand AI series, and I'm walking you through step 2 of the fashion launch blueprint. So let's get started. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Nicole Di Rocco, a 7-figure fashion CEO with over 23 years of experience in the industry, and I help new fashion founders like you launch your brand. Now, the number one reason most brands fail is honestly because they don't know who they're selling to. Do you? Do you have a plan who you want to sell to? And this is one of the hardest moments in the launch journey because you have to make a decision. Just like you're going to have to make a decision on what is the standout style and that signature look that you want to launch with, who you sell to, who you communicate to, who is that niche, that one person that you would love to be one of your brand supporters, that you want to have them come be a customer, come to your store, come to your events. Making the decision of who that person is hard. And why? Because most people think that if I narrow down who I'm going to sell to, that I'm going to limit selling to all these other people that might just want to buy my product. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. I mean, I get it. I felt when I was selling Nicolita, when I started my journey, I really thought my ideal customer was someone that looked like me. I was in college when I started my journey. So it was someone who was 18 to 22 in my sorority, loved to go on spring break, really that fashion conscious college girl who liked social events, getting a bikini every year for spring break. All of those things was who I felt was my ideal customer because I was her. I was one and the same. And you might even be looking at your product and thinking, I am kind of designing and building this brand around what my struggles have been. Why is it that you want to start this brand? A lot of times it ends up becoming because this is something that you were lacking, that you wanted to see in the industry, that some other brands were not satisfying that need. And that's perfectly okay. A lot of times our ideal customer, look in the mirror, it's exactly who we are. But when we're trying to market to them, I really want you to focus on getting very specific because the reality is over time, you might be niching out of that exact avatar. And you can do two things. You can either grow with yourself as your avatar who you want to design for, or you can be very specific and stay to who you're launching for right now. And there's no right or wrong answer. It's all about the delivery. So yeah, my ideal customer for Nicolita was kind of spot on. I had little bikinis and really cute, different designs, different styles, but I really focused on something that I felt was my biggest hurdle when buying a swimsuit. And that was where it was digging into your skin. Like the dreaded muffin top was always, whenever I go try on a bikini, I'm like, ugh, like dreaded putting on those bottoms because a lot of those bottoms, this is 23, 24 years ago, wasn't made with the type of elastic that I ended up developing for my brand. And I see a lot more brands using right now because people don't want to have a super skin tight bikini that creates those gaps and creates those divots inside of your skin. So I solved the problem with Nicolita of developing a no pinch fit bikini bottom. And then it became a no pinch fit one piece and no pinch fit style tops where it did not dig in. It was laying flat and ideally over my bottom sizes. What really made me stand out was that I went about 1 inch to 1.5 inches wider on the hips, but kept all the sizing the same. This was my unique feature, but I want to reiterate this to you guys, I was solving a problem for my ideal customer. That's why this is so important for you guys to nail who is your avatar, who is this dream customer of yours. So knowing this before you make a sample is incredibly important as well. So on step 1, we started out with our style sketch. This is the basic. This is where we're starting off from. Now that you have that style sketch from step 1 inside of this blueprint, step 2 is understanding who is going to buy that style and redefining certain areas of that style. So once you go through this process of really identifying who is your ideal customer, you're going to now see, oh, wait, maybe I do need to add pockets. Or if it's a swimsuit, they probably want something to lay on their skin as well that doesn't dig in. How is my construction going to fit on this type of customer? Do they need more support? They might be an older category customer, or it's for girls. There's a brand that I ran into at a trade show. She developed this entire swimwear line for women with really small breasts. So they went to like a AAA, AA, breast size, and then they created these pads that just snuck in there. I think the brand is Sabel, probably getting that wrong, but I'll link them here. I want to give them a shout out. But she was really developing a solution for a specific customer. That might not sell to everybody because not everybody has that problem, but I bet there are millions of women who want that extra oomph and always struggle with finding the perfect fitting top because they have a smaller breast size. So we want to remember this. One of the easiest ways to sell more products is by designing a solution to a problem. So think about it. Are you designing a solution with your designs and your styles to a problem that your current or your future customers, if you haven't sold yet, is looking for? If you're designing something to be pretty, it's a harder road to get to your customer than if you are launching a brand new product and you want to get those initial sales in to go for the solution-based product. This is their problem, and I designed the solution. Okay, so as you know, inside of this Fashion Business AI series, we want to use AI because why are we going to do it the hard way? We want to do it the easy way now. So I want you to be able to open up ChatGPT. And again, if you're not familiar with ChatGPT, there are a couple other episodes before this one, or if you're on YouTube, check out this episode. I'll try to link this here in the bio or in the summary, but that will give you an overview. There is a free to use version of this, and there's also a paid. I highly recommend you get the paid version. It's very minimal. I think it's like $20 I pay a month, and it just gives you a more refined output. It's not as robotic. It's my personal opinion. Okay, so what we're going to want to do in this first step is we want to characterize this ideal customer. So we basically want to create a persona. We want to understand who this customer is, but not just she's 18 to 25 and she loves going on, travel vacation. We want to get very nitty gritty. So what I want you to be able to do is get an idea of who you think this person is. So you can write out the basics, define the target with whom your brand is trying to sell for, or look at other brands that are showing your target audience, maybe like inside of their social media content. And you can even tell ChatGPT and using all this information when you write this prompt. So we're going to want to write a very detailed prompt that describes a profile of who it is you think you want to sell to. So write in the areas below in the ChatGPT, we're going to want to describe, what age is this product for? What's the name of your brand if you have that? That's really important. And an idea of what type of product is that you're launching with. And you can even tell ChatGPT, I'm not sure which style is my signature style that I want to launch with. I am unsure which dress would be the perfect dress for this customer. I want her to have an income level of, $50,000 to $70,000 per year, or I want my avatar to be a wealthy stay-at-home mom that loves Pilates. I mean, you can just get very, very, very specific. I want my avatar to be a college student between the ages of 18 to 21, just like Nicolita that loves to go on spring break, loves bikinis, loves social media, loves following influencers, and start to get a good sense of the idea. So then what we're going to end up doing inside of ChatGPT, you're going to write all this stuff and have it off to a side. Now we're going to draft the prompt. Now the prompt, you can literally say in ChatGPT, now that here's all my information, write me an effective prompt to get a full customer persona and customer avatar for my brand. And make sure if there are any questions that you may have, anything to clarify my product, my brand, who I want to sell to, my pricing, please ask me questions. And now what ChatGPT is going to do is it's going to now give you the prompt that it wants you to ask, or it might include other questions for you to be able to clarify and get even more specific on what its outcome will be. So once you enter that in, you're going to probably have a few different variations of what I'm explaining. But what the goal is if you ask it to create a persona, like I want this person to have, I want the result to be a persona with a name, tell me about her. And one of the most powerful things is asking ChatGPT when you do create this persona is help me create a persona name for this client, this customer avatar. What do they struggle with for, and then enter in your product category? What do they struggle for with swimwear? What do they struggle for with going on vacation? What do they struggle for with going to the gym and working out? And provide an ideal price point that they would pay for this type of product. You want to identify, again, what is their struggle? This is the best way you're going to find out that you're going to be able to make social media posts, reels. When you do your photo shoot, you're going to be able to highlight this type of transformation. I'm all about, inside of our mastermind group, show me the customer's transformation. I don't want you to tell me. I want you to show me visually on video, on a photo. A before and after is one of the most powerful ways that you're going to have people say, oh my God, this is me and I want that. Click, and where can I buy? So now there are some other AI-powered market research tools that we get into a little bit in the mastermind. Besides ChatGPT, you can also look at Google Trends. This is more of like forecasting, seeing what type of keywords definitely come up for this type of customer base. So once you have the basis of how this persona gets created inside of ChatGPT, there are so many things you're going to be able to use this for, like looking at Facebook audiences, asking ChatGPT, now with this persona, who should I, or what should I add as my customer interest on my Facebook ad when I'm running ads? That type of information is gold when we're trying to plan out any type of ad strategy. So another great custom avatar prompt is understanding fashion trends. So you can now say to ChatGPT, analyze current fashion trends and identify a target demographic for the brand specializing in your niche. Let's say it's sustainable swimwear for women, or it's Pilates, athletic wear, and then provide insights on age range, interest, and buying behaviors. So this is a whole other way for you to look at what's going on in the industry right now within your product category, target customer base, and how you're going to fit into that mix. You can even ask it, what would be the best strategy to enter into this type of demographic? What would be the best strategy for me to get in front of these types of customers? Maybe it's not Facebook ads. Maybe there's something totally different that we're not looking at, but ChatGPT and obviously your Fashion Biz Mentor are here to help. Now, I want to say, and I mentioned this before, it's okay to change your ideal customer. You are not stuck. This is not like you're getting handcuffed for life and like this is exactly who you have to, sell to for the rest of your life. When I started my brand, I was in college. I was I was my customer. I was designing because I wanted that type of suit when I went on spring break. I wanted that type of fit for my body when so I can feel confident and feel good about it. Now, I'm not a college student anymore. I grew out of that niche. And what my choice was to actually grow the brand with what it was that I wanted to design for, what was interesting to me. So you'll probably see, if you look at a lot of brands and their history, where were they before? What was the thing that they came out with? And where are they now? They've probably matured a lot more. Some brands have stayed very, very consistent to maybe, if it's a children's brand, having it be for children's clothing. Maybe you're a mom that wants to design a whole line of children's clothing for your kids, and then now they're growing out of it. You're out of that mommy stage. Think about that. How is that going to evolve your product line? Are you still going to be excited about designing your product line, even though you are not the target market anymore? But it's also okay that you evolve, that your ideal customer changes, but it just has to be done in a certain way that feels authentic to your brand. Like I said, I was definitely there. I felt at one point personally, I did not associate with wearing the tiny bikinis anymore. I had kids, my body changed when I got into my 30s, and I wanted a more covered type of suit. I got a lot heavier into one pieces. That's how I evolved my brand, and my messaging also changed too. So if you want to follow along with this workbook and the PDF guide, definitely head on over to fashionbizmentor.com. Download the Before You Start Your Clothing Line, the ultimate fashion launch blueprint and checklist over there on the site. And as always, I will see you in next week's episode. Bye.